The British Council since 1943 has been working with Mexico to build trust and investment between our two countries and beyond. And tonight it really is beyond, because this event is being live streamed through the internet to the world. Martin Amis is a British novelist, the author of many novels, including Money and London Fields. In 2008, The Times named him one of the 50 greatest British writers since 1945. He's considered one of the most influential writers of his generation, whose unique style has been much imitated but never matched, as it has revolutionized the world of literature because of his distinctive themes, influences, and techniques. His awards include the Somerset Maugham Award for Best First Novel and the James Tate Black Memorial Prize for Biography. And his work is routinely shortlisted for other awards. His most recent book, The Pregnant Widow, has been translated into Spanish. Also, our thanks to Edmundo Paz-Soldan, the well-known Bolivian writer and journalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Amis.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure. My name is Edmundo Paz-Soldan. It's a pleasure for me to be here speaking with Martin Amis, a writer whom I admire a lot. I was telling Martin that I discovered him more than 20 years ago. My first year in the United States, I was studying in Alabama. And there is translation, right? Okay. I was studying in Alabama. And his hardcover of London Fields came out. There was a glowing review in the New York Times, and I didn't have enough money, and I couldn't wait for the paperback, so I stole the book from a bookstore in a shopping center. I think at the end, many readers discover authors stealing books. And the hope is that it's going to be justified. I think it was worth that incident, and after 20 years, I'm a very faithful reader of his novels. So for me, it's really an honor to be with Martin. Probably you have already talked a lot about this novel, La Viuda Embarazada, but it's the novel that just came out in Mexico. So I would like to start talking about this novel. I'm very interested in the dialectics in the novel between old age and youth, because you have the same character, Keith, reflecting on, he's in his 50s, 60s, and he's reflecting on a particular period of time in the 70s, and so he has this kind of self-hate, I would say, when we're talking about old age. He's looking at a mirror and saying that aging is not, aging is hard for him, but at the same time, he idealizes the beauty of the time when he was young. So what do you have to say about this relationship between beauty and aging?
That you get ugly when you get old. It's all perfectly simple. In fact, I can tell you how it's going to go. Everything seems fine until you're about 40. Then something is definitely beginning to go wrong. And you look in the mirror with your old habit of thinking, while I accept that everyone gets old and dies, it's a funny thing, but I'm an exception to that rule. I don't know how I did it, luck or talent or something like that. Then it becomes a full-time job trying to convince yourself that this is true. And you can actually feel your youth depart in your mid-40s when you look in the mirror and this idea that you're an exception evaporates. What I'm interested in particularly in that novel, and was very interested when it happened to me, that you think in your late 40s, you have one thought in your head, which is, that went a bit quick. And you keep saying to yourself, that went a bit quick. Then you think life is going to get thinner and thinner until it dwindles into nothing. But a very strange thing happens to you, a very good thing happens to you in your early 50s. And I'm assuming that this is what novelists do. They assume that their case is typical. A poet can't be typical about anything, but a novelist is an everyman and an innocent and a literary being. But you assume that how you feel is how everyone feels. And I'll predict that in your early 50s, something enormous happens in your mind. And it's like discovering another continent on the globe. But what happens is you're suddenly visited by the past. And it's there like a huge palace in your mind. And you can go and visit all these different rooms and staircases and chambers. And it's particularly the erotic, the amatory past. And if you have children, they somehow very strongly present in this palace of the past.